Welcome viewers. Today we are going to revise the 2020 Computer Studies 7010 for GCE. We'll revise the section A in the next video. Let's begin. Mandy Transport Company uses a paper-based system to manage its business records. The company has decided to migrate to a computer-based system. Give 3 tools that the system analyst can use to investigate the manual system. So the tools that can be used to investigate are their interviews, you can use questionnaires to gather facts, questionnaires, you can use observation or record inspection. That is another alternative answer, record inspection, where you review the existing documentation. So any 3 from those 4 answers. Give 2 benefits of using top-down design when designing a system. Top-down design is a method of breaking down a system into smaller subsystems that can be managed. So if you have a problem, you break it down into sub-problems. Again, the sub-problems are, so the benefits of top-down design is that it facilitates easier testing and debugging. So easier testing and debugging. The other benefit is that it breaks the complex systems into smaller manageable modules. Okay, breaks complex problems into smaller manageable problems. C. The system analyst proposed that the computer system best be developed in low-level language, such as assembly language, instead of a high-level language. Give 2 reasons why the analyst made that suggestion. So we are looking at assembly language here, which is a low-level language, against the high-level language. The reason the analyst proposed this would be that because low-level language it is faster to execute, okay? So can you say faster execution? Faster execution. Programs in low-level language are faster to read. Then direct control of hardware. Okay, so you can easily control hardware, direct control over hardware. Okay. Then they also require low memory. Requires low memory compared to high-level language. High-level language, the instructions are so many, so you need a huge memory for execution. High-level languages are more portable, meaning they can run on different platforms. Then high-level languages are easy to read. Easy to read. They are easy to test. They are easy to debug. Okay, those are and the program are easy to maintain. Okay, let's go to part E, state two items found in the technical documentation. So technical documentation contains the following: validation and verification and verification techniques, um, they contain um, um, hardware and software requirements, they contain sample code, they contain architectural diagrams, and so on. Explain why the following data items are produced in user documentation. Frequently asked questions in user documentation. They provide quick answers. Quick answers, okay, to common user issues. Why do we need the sample runs in user documentation? So that we can see the expected inputs, outputs, and system behavior. Okay, so to demonstrate expected inputs, outputs, and system behavior. Why do we need hardware and software requirements? Okay, to ensure that the user knows the minimum setup that is needed. Why do we need troubleshooting guide in user documentation? We need it because it helps the user diagnose and resolve common errors on their own. So can say to help users diagnose okay, and resolve issues. Okay. Yes. Independently. Describe two tasks done when the proposed system is being evaluated. So during evaluation, you are testing the functionality against user requirements to verify the objectives. So you compare system performance against objectives. Then the other reason is to gather user feedback. so that we can assess usability and identify improvements. So to gather sorry about that, user feedback. Question H, give 3 limitations that can lead to failure to develop the system as planned. So there are many things that can lead to a system not being developed. One of them is the insufficient budget. Okay. Lack of financial resources, insufficient budget. Okay, let me just remove this. Sufficient budget. The other one is poor project management. Poor project management. The other one that can lead to project failure is the unrealistic timeline. Your project is supposed to take maybe years. You said it can be done in maybe in a month. Maybe it can take 12 months, and then you just say, this one can be done within this poor and unrealistic timeline. May end up not meeting all the objectives. The other one is a lack of user involvement. People using the system are not involved from the beginning. It can lead to a project failure. Lack of user involvement. So we end here. If you like this revision, you can subscribe, like, comment. We'd like to hear from you what you think about this revision toolkit.